people. Welcome to Culture Gumbo. I am your host, Shakira. This is the one in red, repping Phillies today, as usual.
What's happening? We here, bro. We here, World Series. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Phillies. We doing it, man. I'm saying we won game one last night. I'm always repping, even when I ain't home. So I'm excited. How you feeling?
Good. It is. We're going into November. I feel like I might as well say Happy New Year.
Nah, don't do that.
Because we only have 60 more days.
Don't be that person, yo. Don't be that person
until the new year.
Don't be that person. You out here skipping Halloween. You skipping Turkey Day. You know what I'm saying? You skipping.
I'm not eating turkey.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
I'm not.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm not calling it Thanksgiving.
Right. No, you're right. I just feel like I can't believe it's November. Like we're here. Like it's here. So, but the year has flown by and it's been one heck of a year. So I'm just excited to finish off this quarter good. On a high note with more money in my pocket. And just getting some stuff in order. So yeah, it's gonna be a great month. How about yourself, Will?
I'm just trying to survive out here in this concrete jungle. You know what I'm saying? The end of the year is always hectic for me because I'm always super busy. There's a lot of memories from the end of the year, like, you know what I mean, people close to me that have passed.
Right.
So I'm always thinking about that. And then I'm always going into like the end of the year being like, yo, I want to relax for like the rest of the year. Like I just want to chill.
Yeah.
And I never do it. So this year I'm like, I'm going to make sure that I relax. I'm going to go into 2023 like fully refreshed. And I'm not even one of them people where I'm just like, oh, new year, new me, because I don't care nothing about that. No. But I'm gonna embrace that this year and see what that be like. Cause y'all motherfuckers be out here really talking new year, new me, and they be posting that same meme every year with Shorty stepping up the stairs with the bag.
Yeah. Womp womp womp. Womp. It's not about that.
I'm going into 2023 prayerfully, fully healthy, fully focused, and as you know, from our challenge, this is the first time where like I'm going into everything focused with just me. Like I'm not carrying nobody else's load. I'm not doing nothing else. Like I'm making me a priority, and this is still a big change for me.
Right.
So I'm still getting used to it and learning how to do it, and it's a blessing. So
that's facts, all facts. And you listen, you know, I've said this before on our podcast, guys, that Will, he's always tired. Now, yes, there's a lot of reasons. He works hard. He helps his family. He makes sure his people good. He, got other podcasts that he's on in addition to this, and working, a full-time job as well. So I'll say that and not knock everything else. But I will say it is important that we do have that time of refreshing and silence. So, nigga, yes, get sleep, get some rest.
So now you picking up my naps.
No, I didn't say I'm picking it up, but I'm saying it's necessary. And I'm learning that because that is something that's really hard for me to do. Right now, I am earnestly searching for a gigantic tub. And I know that sounds crazy, people, like what? But in the apartment that I live in, I have a tub, but I'm 5'9", so I'm not a tiny little woman here, and got a little meat on my bones. So I like to feel comfortable taking a bath. And people don't realize, they may say, oh, a bath is just a bath, but there is a sense of relaxation and calm when you have an intentional bath time. And so
them essential them essential oils and whatnot, y'all be doing in the bath.
Putting some, and just, lighting some candles and having some aroma and just a book or some time to just kind of sit in silence or reflect or just whatever you do. That has been my thing. So before this year is out, I'm going to be in some hotel room with some gigantic
there you go
spa tub and enjoy every moment of it. But in addition to that, you mentioned, using some time. So I have a full-time job. I have side hustles. I have another podcast. So I'm taking off the end of this year, like the 31st, like the 30th, the 31st, and then the first few days of January, just for that time of just get yourself centered. I don't want a year like this year. I don't want to be super busy, overwhelmed, work. What's your goals? Watching all these people on social media, talk about all the stuff they can sell you and how everybody's an expert. And then you spend $40 or $50 on this expert.
Pull back. Don't hit the tangent out of frustration. I feel it.
I just real quick, y'all got to be mindful who y'all watching on these social media platforms. When we get into our depth of our show, that's my disclaimer. Be careful of watching everybody, because everybody is not an expert. Everybody does not have a successful business platform. And if they do have a successful business platform, that don't mean that they can make you successful. And
the only thing you should be buying is Peter Popoff water. Come on.
Wow.
5:30 in the morning.
No.
And you bought Peter Popoff water?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Peter Popoff got magical water.
Well, it has nothing to do with nothing that I'm talking about right now. But anyway, we're gonna get the show started.
Peter Popoff water probably cures syphilis.
I ain't got syphilis, so
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying it's supposed to be magic water. You know what I'm saying? So you got to believe in it. Whatever. Let's.
Speaking of diseases, right? So, speaking of diseases, so I want to pose this question: would you watch a show? And nobody steal my idea, because I will come back to this freaking video. Would you watch a show that was all about sex chronicles? Like what? people sharing their sex experiences, like weird, their past, not current, like not nobody you're dating with that.
That's already happened.
Who did it?
That was HBO Real Sex when we were shorties. That's what that show was about.
Not Real Sex. No.
Real Sex was about that. It was about sex chronicles and stories and people's past experiences.
But they were acting on it. I'm talking about a actual full-blown conversation. Like, what did he have you do? What did he want you to do?
Oh, they do that on
want you to do?
They do that on these podcasts all the time.
Well, I really want to do that.
So you about to do a podcast TV show, a podcast show on sex chronicles?
Yeah, you don't hear from that many Black people. Like the weird.
I hear from Black. Listen,
might be a whole. That might be a whole show.
Go on a date in Atlanta, and you'll hear about it.
No, I don't want to. It wouldn't be any current stories. It'll only be past stories. But I think it would be great. Anyway, moving on.
Wow.
Going to our culture news.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well,
I had this whole conversation earlier and was like, you know what? That would be dope. And the person I was talking to was like,
but everybody does that though. So you have to come with a different type of show that you want to do. It has to have a different angle. Everybody does
that. I haven't seen that.
Go on your explore page. I'm sure there's at least 4 or 5 podcasts where the super freaks be on there talking about stuff they do, stuff they've done.
But it's not, that's the thing. It's not about super freaks. It's like your weirdest sex stories. Like the weirdest things that have happened to you. Maybe a girl wanted you to do something that you never, or a guy wanted something that you
So
never.
you gonna go in there, you gonna tell your stories.
I don't have that many stories, but I would share. Yeah, of course. It's
Yeah,
funny.
well,
It's funny. It's super
you-
funny, especially because some
I-
people out here are weird. Anyway,
uh-uh.
moving on to our coaching news. So, guys, as we said, we are approaching November. November is an essential time, especially during this year, because it is voting season for the general election, and even your state elections. And so we want to encourage you to get out and vote, but it's not just about going to vote. A lot of people are actually doing early ballots this year. And I think I actually looked up in my area because I'm trying to do early ballot as well. Um, um, but make sure you research all the candidates that is in your area, and the independents, the Democrats, and the Republicans, to ensure that it equates to your values, your morals. You're not going to agree with everything, but which person fits what you want to see happen, or the quote unquote changes that they say they're going to make, then you want to make sure that you do your research and go out and vote, because y'all be some complaining folks when stuff happened, especially how we had the unexpected pandemic and how things were handled, and vaccines and all this stuff. That's all correlated to who we have in office. And as we've seen, some of these state governors made some crazy decisions during COVID, and some crazy decisions now, like even me in the state of Tennessee. They do, and I think this is on the general ballot actually, about changing the saying that slavery uh slavery and involuntary, or did they say voluntary? I have to read it again. But pretty much, if you want to change the words of the Constitution regarding slavery and inmates, and that inmates should have to always work no matter what, like they have to work it off their time.
I just want to say, you need to get out and vote, because if you have not seen these debates, especially in Florida and Georgia, Ron DeSantis was in the debate talking about the land, the United States land was not stolen from the Native Americans. Okay, you got Herschel Walker out here posing with a fake badge. All right, and then you got Governor Kemp looking like a complete idiot when dealing with Stacey Abrams, because she ate him alive. So you got to get out and vote. I understand everything don't always work in our favor. I understand that there's frustrations with the current regime, but you also have to understand that when we don't vote and we don't control the House and the Senate for what our preferences are, that these are the things that are held up in the air. And there's a lot of things on the ballot, on these ballots this year, that could really, really change the course of the rest of our lives and possibly our children's lives. So we got to make sure we get out and vote, man. It takes 5 minutes, go out and do it. I'm actually going to go ahead and get mine done early on Monday. So if you can go get that early voting done, get it done. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
make sure you go out and do that.
Absolutely. On to our next. I guess I'll have you introduce this, regarding Russia denying the appeal of WNBA star Brittany Griner. This is really sad news, to be honest. So on Tuesday, October 25th, just in case whenever you're watching this, October 24th, I'm sorry. Russian court on Tuesday denied Brittany Griner's appeal and upheld her 9-year prison sentence on drug charges.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me that it's A, 9 years, B, they denied it, and C, these wasn't like she had major drugs. It's unfortunate because she's now being expected to move into a penal colony, and I know that they don't treat those prisoners. I mean, it's Russia, y'all.
So okay, so the thing about that is, we clearly knew and we know that this has nothing to do with Brittany Griner, and this is all about Russia
and their
trying to
relationship with the
use
US. Correct.
right, trying to leverage the situation. So it's literally, I believe, going to come down to a high profile prisoner swap, because also you have Wayland over there also. Now the thing about that is when from reading up everything that I read up about it, most people don't get this kind of sentence. So we know that that's what it is. Even her attorneys stated that that wasn't what they were expecting.
Right.
Now I do know that President Biden stated that they are still trying to have conversations with Russia. He stated that their last offer was not even, they didn't even get a response, and they've been constantly trying to reach out to them, trying to make a deal, trying to get Brittany home as soon as possible. Now, her attorneys did say that they're planning to use all available legal tools because it's unprecedented about what's happened. I believe it's actually over 250 days now that Brittany has been detained since being arrested in February. So we definitely need to bring her home, praying for her safety, praying for her well-being, because like you said, they're saying that she's going to be moved to the penal colony, but that it also could take months. So prayerfully within that time period before she's moved to the penal colony, we'll be able to get her home as soon as possible. So yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just prayers to Brittany Griner. I can't imagine what she's going through mentally.
Yeah.
Being in a foreign country, dealing with the law of the foreign land, and just not seeing your family in months, not seeing her wife in months, not seeing anyone. So just prayers that she stays strong in there until she's back home in the US.
Definitely. Well, definitely praying for her and her family. Getting into the main ingredients. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and Shakira had this conversation before the show because I did not want to discuss this man anymore. I just kind of feel like at this point it's redundant. But he's literally the biggest news story that's out, and it continues to be a weird free fall for him. So Kanye West is literally having the worst week possible you can think of. He recently stated that he lost over $2 billion in a single day.
That's
because he lost several partnerships. These partnerships included Balenciaga, Gap, which Gap actually pulled all of his products and are putting them literally in the discount sections. His deal with Adidas literally ended his partnership and then pulled all of his shoes from stores to not be sold. So the only way now that you can get some Yeezys is from like the resellers, and we already know what the resellers are going to charge.
Oh, they're marking it all the way up.
Yeah,
It's value
so
now.
This is all stemming from his comments of his anti-Semitic statements that he's made concerning Jewish culture, his White Lives Matter t-shirt fiasco in Paris, and just numerous comments, including his Drink Champs interview. Shakira, I gotta ask, where do you feel like Kanye goes from here? And is there a point in time where you feel like Black culture will forgive him for what's happening?
Oh, they're gonna forgive him. First of all, I also feel like all these companies, not all of them wanted to get rid of him. But they had to make that decision from their upper ups. Let's just be real. Do I agree with some of the stuff that he said about the control of the music industry? Yes, I do. But when he made that statement, he definitely knew that, and when he made a lot of the statements thereafter, he knew he was going to get canceled. So part of me felt like he kind of wanted that to happen. We know, of course, mentally, he's in a space he really does need mental help. But I also feel like people still gonna buy his stuff, and if he does go ahead and start to find a third party to sell, like he can, first of all, he got enough money to build his own stores. And I do believe people, we talk a lot on social media, but the reality is there are people that will be clicking to purchase online to have his stuff in their homes. So I think this is going to die out. I'm not going to lie. I know how it goes. Like right now, he's the hot topic. And yeah, it's easy to talk about all the stuff that he said. And I do agree, he should be apologizing for the George Floyd comments and the things that he said, because it was incorrect. But I also feel like people are consumers, and it will die out, and they will be buying his stuff again. You could believe otherwise, but he got enough money to do a shell company that nobody knows is him. And they can change the name and make it something else. And they're not even going to be knowing that they're buying Yeezy stuff.
So
there's so many shell companies out there.
I agree that you're right. I don't think that this is going to last long with the Black community.
Like, he's going to go bankrupt? Is he going to go bankrupt? No,
but here's the thing, right? Because I see a lot of people getting upset, and they're like, oh, people didn't care until he made these comments about the Jewish community. This is why. Because when the Jewish community heard it,
they shut it down
immediately.
They shut it down.
Black folks, we don't fucking do that. And that's unfortunate. Like the thing is,
we should have shut him down a while ago, and it wouldn't have gotten to this point.
I've seen these hoteps out here talking about, oh, he did it on purpose. Oh, it's a new world order. Oh, this and that. No, it's not, yo. Like, he's spiraling out of control. Like, somebody needs to get that brother help. The thing about Kanye is you can never take away the genius of what Kanye is. However, you have to hold him accountable. Nobody's held him accountable for shit. They never do. Because every time he does something, it gets worse and worse and worse. And he says more and more things. Even in the Drink Champs video, he was gloating that like Adidas can't get rid of me. He felt above everything.
Right. But he wanted, but prior to that, he really did want that contract to end anyway.
He wanted, but he didn't want it to end like that.
I agree. He didn't want it to end like that, not abruptly, and not him losing $2 billion in a day. Can we talk about what type of impact that is?
With some ugly ass sneakers.
Right, ugly shit. Looking like aliens. Y'all stupid anyway for walking around with those on your
feet. But my thing is with Kanye, it's not about bashing the brother. It's not about beating him up and this and that and the other, but it is about holding him accountable. And the Black community don't hold him accountable for nothing. We don't hold nobody accountable for nothing. Only time we hold people accountable for stuff is when we got us in power, and it's like, oh, we not doing enough. But the thing about it is, we don't ever want to do the work to try to get everything fixed fully. I ain't gonna say everybody, but there's always a large group of individuals who are always on the other side of fixing the problem, who never want to fix it, never want to be held accountable for that shit.
Right.
So it's like he's already back on Twitter.
We don't have, well, of course he's on Twitter. Elon Musk is his BFF. But the reality is
he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, I doubt that. We know how that goes. Even if he didn't, he knew it was happening, but it's like, okay, if you're gonna do it, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't control it, but he knew it was going to happen. But I also think, when it comes to Black people, we don't like to really operate in unity, at all, when it comes to like backing. So it isn't about bashing Ye, because Ye has had a lot of people around him that could have said some things that the average person, such as you and myself, couldn't say, and it would affect him. And even then, he still does what he wants. He's his own man. He don't feel like nobody controls him. And it's not about really control, but it's also about a sound voice. And if you don't have a sound voice around you, like even if it's one person, you should always have at least one person in your life that is a sound voice. They're not speaking from one side or the other. They're speaking from truth. They're speaking from reality, and they're talking out of love. And a lot of time when you have people talking to you and it's not out of love, you sense that, you know it. So it's coming from another place. So it's like, I don't want to hear you. What you saying don't even matter. You know what I mean? So I think it's all about the approach, but we put people on these platforms and rise them to the top of success, and not realize, like, Ye was already cocky when he had nothing and he was broke. You give a man billions and billions of dollars, I don't know what y'all was expecting that was going to outcome from him. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, nobody taking into consideration that, like, you gave this man so much power and so much invincibility as what he thinks he is right now, that he does feel untouchable, and he does feel like he can say what he wants, and he can say what he wants with repercussions, as we see happening right now. But he already has so much money. When a man says he has so much money, he's spending money ridiculously, that if he meet a girl and he like her, he might buy her a house. That's just you got too much money. You just buy it, and you ain't even.
But that money ain't doing nothing, because Pete Davidson apparently got a 10-inch dingling and was doing his wife. That the Charlamagne story is hilarious to me. I don't. So his money is only getting him so far. Clearly,
it's only getting him so far. But at the same time, just like in this world, we got good and we got evil. Everybody's a partner to one or the other.
I think I'm on both sides. I think I'm on both sides.
I'm definitely not on both sides, but I say that to say he will always have a following. He will have a following.
I love the Lord, but I be with the shits. So
you do, but I'm not starting that today.
Well,
so I I say all that to say, Kanye. God bless you. God bless you. Like, God bless you. Like, at the end of the day,
I ain't saying all that.
I don't wish nothing bad on Kanye.
Still said slavery was a choice, so I'm not.
No,
I'm not saying all that,
right,
but.
And he made some extreme incorrect comments and statements, and he's done some things and wore some outfits that was not cool, not correct, not politically, not like whatever. And so we know that mentally he has some stuff going on, but behind every genius, there is some truth to some stuff that you say as well. It's just that not everybody can handle that. And that's where he has no filter, where you can't say everything you want to say just because you want to say it. Because if that's the case, everybody be walking around here saying what they want to say.
But the shit he be saying don't be right. It be ridiculous. It be outlandish shit because he wants attention. It's not like I could see if it was like Kanye, like George Bush don't like black people Kanye, or even my beautiful twisted dark fantasy Kanye. But he got to a point where he just got so outlandish. Kanye was just like, I'm gonna say any fucking thing on my mind and they gonna eat it up. And the fact is that people do it. Right. He went out of pocket. He made this slavery comment, and these motherfuckers were still going to Sunday service and doing all that other bullshit, bro. Like, y'all don't want to fucking fix it. Y'all just literally just want to be entertained, and it's fuck everything else, fuck your morals, and we're all guilty of it. Like, I'm not guilty of the Kanye thing. I'm guilty of, I'm sure, of other things in my life that I've done where it's just like, bro, you're working against yourself. But with the Kanye thing, I've always stood tall on the fact that I just believe that at some point, Big Homie got so out of control that there was no going back. Because every time he say some shit, we're like, oh, he's a creative genius. We have to let him be a free thinker. And but no, motherfucker, there's certain things that you can and cannot do. There's certain things you can and cannot say. And somebody probably should have whooped his ass for it by now.
But again,
he chooses.
He don't have to live in the society everybody else lives in.
He picks and chooses.
So he can be whatever he wants to be. That's the freedom.
Tell Kanye to go to South Philly talking that slavery was a choice bullshit, and we're gonna be talking about how that brother in the past tense. Tell that man to go to Detroit and talk about black people in that tense. Tell Kanye to go to the hood with this bullshit he talking about, get up out of Calabasas, and let's see what happens. I'm firm on that. Like, yo, Kanye is one of the greatest musical minds of our times. I will never take that away from him. But at some point, he lost his way, and people did not hold him accountable. I've been there. I have spiraled myself out of control completely to where I was doing stuff that I'm not even legally going to say because I'm sure there's still a statute of limitations and stuff, and I ain't trying to go to jail. I have done some stuff, and there have been people in my life that said, listen, cut it the fuck out. My brother has literally dragged me out of rooms before. Shout out to Ryan. My brother's literally dragged me out of rooms before. Like, yo, you're fucking bugging. Well, like my best friend India, she's fucking literally put dents in my car because I was out of control and I wasn't listening. Somebody has to be there for him and has to say,
right. But those have to be people that you actually trust. And the reality is he is in an industry that it is really difficult to trust anybody. You got that much money, it is really difficult to trust somebody. And so I say that to say the person that he did trust is no longer on this earth. So everybody else, nobody matters to him right now. So he is spiraling to a degree, and there's nobody to stop him because he lives in a world where it is difficult to trust anybody to believe what they're saying, that they have no motive behind it. Your people, your brother, your best friend, you know their motives is always to make sure to look out for you. When you feel like you're walking around the world and you don't have nobody to have a motive really to look out for you, you in their own world.
But he had those people. He pushed those people away.
There again, it could have been a reason behind that. We don't know the whole story. And I feel like until we know the whole story, I can't say why this man is acting the way he is, but I will say I hope he gets the proper help mentally, because there's some truth in between some stuff that he did share on that show. It really is. It really goes down like that. But at the same time, to spew out hate, there's nothing, and I am a Christian, there is nothing Christian like to be talking about how you hate a group, how you hate how people, there's no justification for that. So wherever he's getting that thought from needs to go, because there's nothing like that. But anyway, we're off of Kanye. Kanye is going to be Kanye, and it's not the last time we're going to be talking about him, because there's going to be something else happening in the news real soon with him. He getting kicked out of stores, escorted. It's all types of stuff that's going on. So I don't know.
Big Dog got pushed out. Big Dog got pushed out by Skechers. Come on, yo. That's wild.
I know. I just, why I still feel concerned, because this is also something where people feel like everybody's against me, and now I'm going to go ahead and commit suicide or something of that nature. So that's why I say I still have some compassion for Kanye, because at the end of the day, like, he's straight up alone right now. And, he's alone. He's alone. So
he still got yes men around, and he got Candace Owens around. Let's move on.
We ain't moving from about her.
Moving from one person to the next, when we talk about people out of control, I'm sure everyone caught Irv Gotti's comments about Ashanti on Drink Champs. Of course, Nori. Come on, Nori, get it together, brother. Irv got his comments about Ashanti on Drink Champs, and also the BET Murder Inc. documentary. Well, Ashanti came back recently and did an interview with Angie Martinez that was, for lack of a better word, detailed. Yo, Ashanti is literally with the shit. You know what? Women, Black women in particular, y'all have a really funny but fucked up way of sunning the hell out of us in the nicest way on a consistent basis. And for me, this interview was exactly that, because she made Irv Gotti look like a complete sucker. I want to get your thoughts on this before I say anything. So what were your initial thoughts on this interview?
I thought it was great. I really believe that I thought it showed a lot of her maturity over the years. Mm-hmm. I thought it showed her strength, and I'm glad she wasn't afraid to pretty much say, like, don't believe nothing this dude's saying. because at the end of the day, he was just pretty much, he was obsessed with her. He was obsessed with her, um, and kind of like, and he was abusive to her and controlling, and she was really young, and he took full advantage. And she's healed from that, because she could still be distraught. So I was happy to see that she's healed. You know, she went the proper steps and healed. Just his interference with her relationship with Nelly, interference with her career, and bad mouthing her, like, you know, telling her she ain't gonna be nothing. Nobody wants her. And it's like, you got to pick yourself back up, because now you're thinking, so why this dude pick me to be a part of this then? You know what I mean? Was it just my looks, or he always had the intention of just wanting her and hoped, even though he was married and had other girlfriends, because she definitely spilled the tea on that. Like, he had a lot of girlfriends. I would hold his phone. He had an extra phone for the host.
I think what was funny about the interview, like the first thing she said was when Angie asked her about the Murder Inc. document, you know, she said it's very unfortunate how he handled the documentary. It's a little sad to see a grown man conduct himself in that manner. I feel like the Murder Inc. legacy is so much bigger, and the way he handled it tarnished and cheapened the brand that's so selfish and degrading. So she said that she accepted a long time ago that that's literally who he was. And some of the things that she mentioned, like, you know, she talked about their relationship. When she said, when Angie Martinez was like, were you in love with him? And she was just like, no. She was just like, yo, it was a relationship. He had a lot of girlfriends. I think she was trying to clear up, because she said that when, I guess, he and her were connected together, that he was separated. And I guess I don't know if they had been separated for a while. I don't know the history between him and his wife. But like you said, she was like, yo, he had a lot of girlfriends, and that was something that everyone had known. But hearing like him say statements to her like, I made you fuckable, or you ain't gonna be nothing without me, or
nobody wanted you until I had you.
Like telling like people in Murder Inc., like if they mess with Ashanti, like they're dead to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a lot of like manipulating shit to be carried around. It's like, damn, Irv, like, bro, you probably should have kept your mouth shut and just not said anything, because this made him look even worse, like coming out of this. Like, you know, and to know that like she was only 21 at the time is crazy. But she made some really great points. Like, you on national TV talking about you love somebody, but yeah, you talking about, oh, she got a fat ass and look at her in these sweatpants.
Yeah, and
like,
embarrassed her during one of the BET Awards. And it's like, and then he said he called her and was like, oh, I'll never, you know, talk about you again or whatever. And then you're gonna go on Drink Champs years later, because she said this was like years ago. Call on, you know, and now you on Drink Champs still talking about her. But I'm like, clearly he was crazy obsessive, like that complete controlling obsessive guy that he felt like he made her. And the reality is God made her, and she made her talent grow. People like her, they didn't have nothing to do with him making her. And although she did acknowledge, like, yes, he put me on, I'm grateful, I love Murder Inc. as a unit, the other brothers, I love them. That's when she said, oh, do you love me? She's like, I love this person, I love that person, but I'm not gonna say I loved him. And so it just reminded me of just like being in an abusive relationship, because you can be in an abusive relationship and not be physically harmed. You can be mentally harmed. And that was an abusive relationship, especially at 21. And he was like 30 then.
Yeah, she said she felt really, really, I think he was actually older than 30. But she said she felt really uncomfortable. She said because once she started to have second thoughts about the situation, she was scared that, that was going to mean her career. And if you honestly look at it, and at the end of the day, that's ultimately what it ended up meaning, was like, her career was affected, because I think she even had to like go back and try to like re-record her albums because he wouldn't give her
She
any
had,
kind of
yeah, no,
ownership or
she did
anything.
re-record, yeah, because that's the only way she was able to put out another a remake of that album. So she had
Mm,
to do it all over again. Um,
okay.
and that's just crazy.
So like before we move on, was there anything about the interview that like surprised you the most or caught you off guard?
Um, besides the fact that him saying he made her, like I knew that they had a decent relationship. I always thought there was something there, but I think I didn't realize that he was that controlling in
Mm-hmm.
that relationship. Now he is crazy, but I never thought that he was that controlling. Um, that was the biggest thing, is the fact of how he treated her, you know, because I mean, I wasn't in the know to know that that's how bad it was, but it got that bad where she had to walk away when she
Yeah.
could. And so that was the biggest moment, I would say. And I also think that, I mean, just seeing her growth, you know, like me and Ashanti is the same age. So um just seeing her growth of, you know, anybody knows, if you have been in a bad relationship, no matter whether it was a person you was dating or a family member or whatever, a coworker, boss, um, when you're being mentally abused, and you're young, you know, you don't really know how to handle that. You don't even know how to process it. And the good part, and what Angie and her said, and I can relate to this, is I grew up around a lot of dudes. I hung with dudes. Most of my friends were guys.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, teenage, early 20s, it was dudes. Like I mean, I had like two best friends, but we all hung out with guys for the most part, and we weren't dating any of them, but we hung out with them. And so our conversations was always wild, with them being like, you know, us calling each other names, and what she said, like where she like, bleep bleep bleep, you da, 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 you fat, whatever. We talk. I can relate to that, especially being from Jersey and dealing with hood niggas, and they were my friends, but they were scums. They were hoes. But they learned a lot from us as women, and we learned a lot from them as guys. And sometimes it get to a point where you get older and you like, if you still run into those friends, you like, don't talk to me like that. You know, I had a situation like that where it was like a childhood friend, and I felt like he came out of pocket on my Facebook page one year. And I was like, I will block you. And although we were close, it was like, you think you could still talk to me like you used to talk to me when we was, 20 or 24. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not the case now. Like, you can't talk to me like that. Like, I'm grown, and not only just I'm grown, but the level of respect is like, at this point, you should have matured, because you shouldn't feel comfortable talking to me like I used to let you talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing. And I know if people from New York, like, you just, oh, that's my nigga, we cool, whatever, whatever. But it's like, they are
Now it's
grinding.
boundaries.
It's
It's bad
lying.
because I got homegirls, like, you know what I'm saying, you grow. And there's certain things like that we might have said to each other when we was 24 that, we definitely wasn't saying at 34 even today. So it's just one of the things about growth. But that's also speaks to people of outgrown individuals and understanding when you gotta let folks go. So
Yeah. And that's just the bottom line. And when I remember when I blocked him, I was like, I'm done. And then it was like a few years later, I seen him, and he was like, yo, you really blocked me on social media. And I was like, because I wasn't tolerating that you're going to be cursing at me on a social media post, when I felt like you should respect me at this point, and
yeah.
so you should just know not to come at me like that, because I'm not that same person that I would talk to you reckless. There was a time where I would talk to people real reckless,
Yeah.
and that's not me today. I don't talk to people reckless or say whatever comes to my mind. So I expect, if you're not maturing or we're not growing, then I don't need you in my life.
I'm out of pocket, but I've grown. I don't say outlandish stuff, but I'm still out of pocket.
Oh yeah, you still out of pocket.
I still let you know like it is what it is, but it's never disrespectful.
But it's not this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I appreciate bluntness, and just keeping it real. But I don't, that whole like just crossing the line is a whole nother like, what up, B? And I'm like,
you ain't never did that though, so I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't even
like,
joke with my homegirls about like even when I'm talking to my homegirls about another woman, I don't be like, yo, this bitch. I don't say that like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I dealt with raw dudes that they would be like, da, da, da. And I'm like, well, that's because
your people's out of pocket.
It's called dirty jurors for a reason. But
yeah, y'all wilding. Y'all be trying to steal our style. But Ashanti just y'all dropped country. A new y'all be trying to steal
y'all our country. We definitely ain't trying to steal your
style. We're not country. We're north and south Philly.
We always thought Philly people were country. We always thought people.
It's not possible for us to be country when we hard and y'all still our style on a consistent basis. We can have a whole show about this. All y'all do in Jersey is still our style, borrow our sports team, and then try to say y'all ain't borrowing. Like, come on, yo.
No, you know maybe that's South Jersey.
With nappy beards, and now all of a sudden. Nah, we walk around with nappy beards, and all of a sudden y'all want nappy beards. Like y'all be wilding, bro. Y'all corny. Y'all stand on that. I wouldn't smoke from anybody from Jersey. Just let them know that. Ashanti's new single, "Falling for You," is out also, so make sure you check that out. Now,
support her.
We finally got another song from the Queen that is Rihanna. I don't know if you got a chance to hear it.
Yeah, I heard a little bit.
With the Black Panther. See, I already don't like your attitude, the way that you're talking about it.
I like the Black Panther. I'm happy this is happening.
The Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack recently dropped its first track with the premiere that actually just happened this Thursday.
Right.
And Rihanna is officially back. So the first single on the song is by Rihanna. It's a song called "Lift Me Up." The song was actually written by Rihanna, Ryan Coogler, Ludwig Göransson, and Tim's. You don't need no other body. Yo, Tim's is fine. Tim's is fine. Hey, Tim's, how you doing, boo? Anyway, the song is an amazing song. It's a song that was actually written in tribute to the late Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, who actually was taken away from us in August 2020 at the age of 43. The song is also going to be released on her Westbury Road label in partnership with Rock Nation Def Jam Recording. It dropped this Friday. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie to you. I listened to the song. I got emotional as fuck.
Oh my gosh.
I had to listen to it 2 to 3 times because, as I said, like September, October, November, and December are really, really difficult times for me because I've lost some of the most important people in my life during that time. And when you listen to the song and you hear the tribute, like Tim said, after speaking with Ryan and hearing his direction for the film and the song, I wanted to write something that portrays a warm embrace from all the people that I've lost in my life. I tried to imagine what it would feel like if I could sing to them now and express how much I miss them. Rihanna has been an inspiration to me, so hearing her convey this song is a great honor. A lot of people were literally thinking she would come back singing Pawn to Replay. That's not what the fucking soundtrack is about.
No.
Like, you guys are stupid if you think that. I thought the song was amazing. I loved her voice on the song. I love what the song represented, but I want to get your thoughts, and I already feel like you're gonna be on some hate and shit, so I'm preparing myself.
No, I actually really like the song. I listened to it earlier. I like Rihanna though. I like Rihanna. And first of all, I never expect soundtracks music to be an image of that actual artist. Right. Like, I mean, I guess I'm coming from an old school soundtrack perspective of all the really good soundtracks on Black movies.
Set It Off and Waiting to Exhale.
Set It Off, Waiting to Exhale. Those were all, I mean, some of my favorite songs are on those
What's
soundtracks.
it gonna be? Cause I can't pretend.
Oh
Yo,
no, we don't need
I'm
you
not
to
even
sing.
I'm not even a big emotional person, but that joke used to come on and you would see
It
the
was.
hardest
It will
bobbing
get
out
you
to that joke.
sad. It will get you like, oh geez, okay. So I feel like this is a great refresh for Rihanna, and then we gotta not expect the same Rihanna because she's a mom now. She's been in this relationship. She's been in multiple relationships since she took her music hiatus. So there's gonna be some real music coming now. This gonna be that mature. This is gonna be that shift in Rihanna where she go from what everybody know her as to a little more like when that happened with Beyonce, there was a shift when she got with Jay, was in a really good relationship or bad relationship, when some stuff got shifty, you're going to start to hear some of that. So I'm looking forward to her album, but I'm also looking forward to just this full soundtrack. And congrats, Rihanna. I can't wait to see her baby. They haven't shown the baby yet.
Definitely, yeah. She's been teasing music for a while now. She just got announced for the most recently for the Super Bowl. So she's gonna be performing live. That's gonna be February 12th of 2023. And I'm also hearing that she's planning on touring in 2023 also. So folks are gonna get new music from Rihanna, Beyonce tour. You know what I'm saying? So I know you're gonna have busy year because I know you're going to the Beyonce tour. I'm not even gonna hold you.
If somebody's paying for my ticket, but I will not be purchasing the ticket. But I will, if someone is paying for my ticket. I've never been to a Beyonce concert, so, but I do have, like I said, I got people that be like, they don't miss a Beyonce concert. So if you want me to go, give me a ticket, I'll go.
But it's gonna be great. I'm literally preparing myself emotionally for Wakanda Forever. I know a friend who went to the premiere. And
they said it was good. I heard it was phenomenal, like phenomenal.
When I tell you this 6'4" behemoth is one of the toughest people I know, Big Dog said he cried.
I'm not that emotional, so I'm not gonna cry.
He wouldn't tell me why, but fam said he cried. Wow. And I've heard a lot of reviews say in this movie that you're gonna cry. I ain't even prepared for it. I'm already kind of mad. You know what I'm saying? But we got our tickets. We're actually gonna go Thursday, so we're looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Gonna be dressed in white. I got my fit ready. You know what I'm saying? Wakanda Forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. You know what I mean? So let's make it happen. You don't seem like you be excited about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy that Wakanda's coming out, and I am gonna go see it, but I'm not gonna be emotional about it. But I will,
as a creative and as a person who loved to see the representation of the first Black Panther film, seeing the kids out there, as somebody who's like literally working on a screenplay right now, I invest in this type of stuff because it inspires me. Like, I don't get emotional about anything. I'm keep it a buck. I've only cried in 2 movies, and I ain't gonna tell you the other one, but the first one was Forrest Gump.
I cried in the Notebook.
Because you're a cornball. Because why are you crying?
Because it was because I'm a sucker for really sappy.
So you cried in the Notebook, but you ain't finna cry over Wakanda and T'Challa passing and
no,
everything?
I'm gonna be inspired.
But you cried on the Notebook.
I didn't cry. I got sad.
Just say you voted for George Bush. Just say you voted for George Bush.
Whatever.
Just
whatever.
I cried when Forrest was at on Forrest Gump, when Forrest was at Jenny's tombstone and he was talking to her and he was disappointed, he was sad and all that. And I was like, that stupid bitch. How dare she?
Oh my God.
Jenny went out. Let me tell you something. And I don't never talk about a bitch. I don't ever say nothing about no bitch. Jenny was a bitch, dog. You know what I'm saying? Jenny went out. Jenny knew Forrest loved her. Treated this man like garbage on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? She was out here in the 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? She was out here
she was
out here fucking the Doobie Brothers. She was out here doing all kinds of stuff she was doing. You know what I'm saying? Shorty got the cough that package.
I don't know
if it was
how we
cancer.
got
I
here.
don't know if it was cancer or
I
AIDS.
don't know.
But she did this man for us so dirty, and all Forrest wanted to do was love her. You know what I'm saying? And when he is at that tombstone and he is professing his love, and he's talking about his kid.
Back to Wakanda. I don't know how Forrest jumped in here, but we definitely is talking about Wakanda.
Fuck you, Jenny.
How Will goes, he goes hard. So yeah, he already told you as a screenwriter, screenplay, right? You know, he clearly is emotionally invested in some projects. So, you know, the fact that, you know, Forrest Gump came out like in 1998, I don't.
No, it came out in 94. Don't be trying to push that age up.
I'll push it back. 1994, and here we are in 2022, and somehow this is still bringing up some emotional.
Listen, if you're watching this, please go back and watch Forrest Gump when he's sitting in her tombstone.
I've watched Forrest Gump 1,000 times.
Then he gave that man some cheeks and then disappeared for 10 years, and then showed
People
up
do
like,
it.
"Hey, I got a baby. I need some child support." I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear.
All right.
Oh man, move on to the seasons and spices, bro.
Oh gosh, let's give y'all some seasons and spices.
Penny was a ho. Ho.
Will Smith had a private screening. Speaking of movies coming out, a private screening for the Emancipation movie. There was a lot of celebrities that attended. There was Dave Chappelle, which a lot of people are like, you know, feel like they were shocked to see Dave Chappelle there, but Dave Chappelle was there. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Who else was there? There was a few people. Kenya Barris, Tyler Perry. So a lot of people came and supported him, which I love that they came out to support him. Mm-hmm. I think that's a big thing, especially who showed up, like Kenya Barris, Tyler Perry, doing Black things. They wanted to come and support. And so although he's not invited to the Oscars, they do see this as being an Oscar-worthy film. But when do they not see slavery movies as Oscar-worthy?
They don't try to acknowledge it. But even when they talk to, I believe Vanity Fair, either Vanity Fair or Deadline, talk to some of the Oscar voters anonymously, and they were like, no matter how good the movie is, they won't vote for it because Will Smith is in it. So it's time for them people to move the fuck on. It's time for them to move the fuck out. Like, to be quite honest, I'm a person who, and I'll be fully transparent here, I have a vision board. On my vision board, if people don't know, well, of course people know, but if people don't know, one of the things when I came up, I aspired to be a writer. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but I hate the process of writing. But then when people constantly telling you, "Oh, you're good at it, you should try to do it," and it's been an experience working on the screenplay with some of my friends of mine. But I have an Emmy and an Oscar on there because you want to win the Emmy and the Oscar. And it's been on there for like as long as I can remember. But if I'm being honest about it, Emmys and Oscars are not as important to me as they once were, because as I got older and I started understanding the behind the scenes part of films and Black people, I understand that basing my success on something like that is impossible, because the people who vote on these things are so far fucking out of touch in their gatekeepers that it's not worth it. Like it's literally like baking a really good pie and then going to like Oscar the Grouch and being like, taste this, and his opinion means the most. Right. It just doesn't mean as much anymore. I'm excited to see Will Smith come out of this. We've talked about the slap that people talk about with Chris Rock, and I've already stated where I stand. I don't condone it, but I understand it. but I also don't think that the backlash that he received was fair in banning him when you consider like there's fucking film from like 1960s, 1970s where fucking I don't know if it's Clint Eastwood or John Wayne or one of the motherfuckers are trying to attack the Native American woman like on stage, like and this shit is just out here living. But it's like, yo, you want to do this shit on a consistent basis. What I did think was Chappelle being there. I mean, I guess it's dope, but at the same token, from reading some of the stuff that I've read, he's been on tour with Chris Rock shitting on Will Smith at the same time. So maybe Will should have slapped the shit out of him too. So I have a bunch of thoughts about this. Overall, you know what I'm saying? Will's a Philly dude, so I'm always gonna support my Philly brethren. I'm happy he's back. Of course, I'm gonna see Emancipation to support. I mean, I'm kind of tired of slave movies, not because I don't want to acknowledge that they did, but because I'm like, man, this trauma is crazy, but there's so many stories that have to be told. So you have to be understanding of that. So I just hope that, you know, coming out of this, Will is able to be successful. I'm definitely looking forward to that new Bad Boys movie because I hear they're going to start filming that soon. I'm always going to be a fan of Will Smith. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
I don't know though. So the last Bad Boys, I don't know. The last Bad Boys,
Bad Boys was good.
The last Bad Boys was okay.
The last Bad Boys was good. It told a real, you know what? You don't like Beyonce. So why am I even trying to
stop saying I don't like Beyonce? That's not true.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
That is not true.
28 episodes in, you don't like Beyonce, dog. We've already
according to you, I have never said that I don't like Beyonce. That has never come out of my mouth on this show.
On a consistent basis, because you be out here voting for George Bush and listening to Taylor Swift, and I made myself okay with that.
I like Taylor Swift's new song.
Oh, so the truth comes out. So you do.
I do like Taylor Swift new
because you don't season your food. You don't season your food, and you.
Well, don't you go lying to people. I don't season. Now I'm white. I don't season my food.
Wow. I know some white people who season their food, but clearly you don't, because you got George W. Bush views and you hate on Beyonce. So
that is not true. Ignore him. That is not true. I do not agree with the views of George W. Bush, and I do not dislike Beyonce.
You admitted to working the polls for George W. Bush in like 2000.
I said Clinton. I said Clinton. Whatever.
You said, okay. Somebody run the tape back. We need a producers who can run the tape back when you be out here. You know you don't like Beyonce. You said that in like every other episode.
I have never said that. All I've said was she's an entertainer. That's what I said.
Beyonce might be the greatest entertainer of our generation.
That's your statement. Moving on.
So who's the greatest entertainer of our generation? Because when I say our generation, I can't say Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is greatest entertainer of my parents' generation.
I think I would choose Beyonce because she is an entertainer.
So then why are you?
I don't classify because I said that she is.
Is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it one Mike Shakira? Because you can't make up your mind. Moving on. Let's add a little bit more seasoning and spicing to what you be talking about, because you be on that bullshit. And I'm
that's not true. She's an entertainer. I agree with that. Am I gonna say she's the world's greatest entertainer? No.
Of our generation, you just admitted it.
Of this generation, it's not that. How many other people do you have to choose from? though? Let's say that.
Yeah, there's a number of people you can choose. You can choose Chris Brown. You can choose Rihanna. There's a lot of people.
Beyonce is higher than them, though.
You can choose whoever you want to choose. So why don't you give her flowers and quit hating, bro? Like,
I'm not hating.
Like, what is your problem, dog?
I do not hate. First of all, I couldn't hate on Beyonce.
Like the same age.
Correct. So how could I hate? How can I hate? Her life is all the way up there, and my life is all the way down here. I can't hate. No, she's not my peer because she's on another level. I'm not there.
She is your peer in Black womanhood. and you be out here admitting that you like Taylor Swift better than Beyonce. Like, come on, yo.
I didn't say
That's
that. This
just said.
dude likes to put stuff in my mouth, but that's not what I said. Anyway, moving
Pause.
on. Right. No.
Anyway.
Don't take that to another level. Okay, go ahead. I was supposed to say pause after that. Like, wait a minute.
No, because I've already got in trouble on 494 because now they're claiming I like feet, and that's not the case either. So I got to clear up everything.
There's a lot of feet men out there. You could be a feet man. You could be.
Shakira,
You look like you might be a feet man.
Shakira, I'm way too fat to be getting down on my knees to play with
No, she could sit on the couch and you do that little rubby rub.
Nah, fam. I'm okay. That rubbing her feet is different than having a foot fetish. Let's not.
Oh, that's true. But there's a lot of men that have foot fetishes.
And I'm sure you know them from your times of working in polls for Georgia.
No, I don't know them because I hate feet.
Babyface recently dropped his new album, Girls Night, which features the best women of R&B. Have you had a chance to listen to it?
I've heard a few songs from it. I love the mix of just who he is. It's just like Babyface in 2022. Like, he sounds the same. He sounds good. And I love the features of some of the people he have on there. I want to say it's not like my best Babyface album, but I definitely think it's a good mix of generations of music. Like, I think that you can listen to this, in this generation. So I'm happy for Babyface. I like to see him come back like this. Like, I think that Versus kicked this off. I think if he never did Versus, he wouldn't have seen how much he still needed today.
Yeah, I mean, he got some joints on there because they've been dropping singles for a while now. I love and I'm a fan of hers already. His joint with Ari Lennox, he got a song on there called Liquor. With Ari Lennox, he got a song with Kalani, who's also on there. Tiana Major, Baby Tate, Tank, 7th Streeter, Coco Jones. So he's got some great people on the album. Babyface, as far as I'm concerned, Babyface might be the greatest songwriter of our generation, probably of other generations.
Of other generations, he's wrote a lot of hits, even 80s music. Yeah, his catalog, I mean, is stupid. So I'm hoping he goes on tour. He's somebody I would love to see in concert.
Definitely. Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. You don't even use Twitter, I don't think. So
no, but I did look it up. I've seen some screenshots and stuff of white people being white.
That's all you got on that. You gonna get us canceled, bro? Yeah.
No, I know. Okay. Let me go back. I don't say that in a generalized statement, but I do say that in no, I don't have nothing to say. It is what it is. Yeah, I agree with that statement. I just think that I've seen recently some of the hateful things that have been posted on Twitter against Black people. Yeah. This white privilege. So when I say that, I mean the white people that believe in white privilege, being white. That's what that is. It's mind-boggling to think that we still deal with racism in 2022. Yeah, we are a color. Like, in the most simplistic way, it is a color. You don't like our culture, but our culture has come from being here in America, where we were forced to come.
Our culture is the American culture. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't have anything else to trace back to. So we are who we are, and we are one of the most creative individuals on earth. We are the biggest trendsetters. We are the biggest consumers. We know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We also know what to do when we get money. We're some of the smartest, most creative because we had no choice but to be so in a country that forced us to be here after years of torment and killings and raping and everything else. So we're the strongest culture ever. But to see that these comments of, oh, I'm so happy I can say nigger now because Elon Musk got Twitter, like,
Yeah.
it blew me because I was really like, and people were publicly, oh, like, I don't care who knows this is how I feel. I'm not hiding it. It is what it is. And it just saddens me to think that, and these are different, these are younger generation of people saying this too. It's not like, oh, the reality is, yeah, there's some CEOs on Twitter and there's some older folks on Twitter, but we do know there's a big generation of, teenagers and 30 up 40-year-olds that are on Twitter. So we're in a generation where we didn't see it and didn't really experience it. And I don't know how to feel. Like I kind of, it's sad. We're a divided country, and it's really sad that we really haven't. It doesn't feel like we're making any strides when
I
you
think
now have a
we've
social
already,
media platform.
I think we've always been a divided country, but I just think that it amplifies it now because people have gotten comfortable since Cheeto was in office. So it's just one of those things. I don't have much to say about it. Like, it is what it is. The only thing I'll say is, like, you tough and you put an ER on there, and it's all fun and games till you get punched in the face and then you
It's
crumble.
all fun and games until somebody shows up at your house. And I don't say that in any, that's not no
No,
threatening or
our
anything
generation
like
wants smoke.
that.
Our
But
generation wants smoke. It's no disrespect to our older generation, but our older generation
we
us to
gonna be
fight
out
back,
here
and our generation.
handling. Yeah, and I just, I feel for the safety of the people out here that are, people know how to find you. Let's just put it this way. Once you're on social media, people know how to figure out who your relatives are. If they can't find you, they'll find your relatives because somebody got their guard down. Somebody in your circle has their guard down. And when these people that do not agree with what's happening decide to figure out where your people are, it's going to be bad in this country. And then that's when maybe something to happen. Maybe.
Yeah.
If a lot, if a lot of, then maybe. So we'll see. And again, that goes back to when we talked about voting. You know what I'm saying? Like, just know that that vote matters because there's a lot of changes that's going to happen in these next few years, and it's going to determine where we're going as a country. And I just hate to see it turn into like every other country laughing at America because we are at war with just each other. We don't need anybody to interfere.
Well, we'll see what happens with Twitter if it becomes the wild, wild west. But definitely check out Fanbase if you haven't already checked out Fanbase. It's a Black-owned social media network owned by Isaac Hayes III, and it's definitely a great place in case you decide that Twitter is too much for you and Instagram becomes too much for you also. Finally ending the show, unfortunately, on a sad note, we want to send love to the family of the amazing actor Leslie Jordan, who passed away this week at the age of 67 in a car accident on Monday. But they also stated that there was a medical emergency that happened that caused the car accident also. Leslie was a beloved actor. He had been on a show called Call Me Kat since 2001. They did a tribute for him recently. It's also known that The Masked Singer and Lego Masters all have upcoming episodes that are going to feature Leslie Jordan on them also.
Fox and Warner Brothers. A lot of projects coming up.
Yeah, Fox and Warner Brothers just recently put out a statement speaking about the tragic passing. Leslie was always an amazing actor, but he recently got really famous with his Instagram and TikTok posts, which kept a lot of people going during the pandemic. An amazing individual. It's a definite reminder to love, not only love on your people, but to live in the moment. So definitely want to send love to him and his family at this time. That was a shock to me, waking up and seeing that on a Monday. So before we end the show, Shakira, let's top it off. What are you watching? What are you listening to?
What am I watching? Something sappy. I've been finishing, a few things actually. There's this show on Netflix called Good Nurse. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of it?
No.
Oh, really good. But I'm into like kind of sci-fi, random kind of things, but it's really good. I'm also watching Family Reunion. Have you ever watched that? No.
That's with Tia Mowry, right?
Yeah. Really wholesome show. It's a really wholesome show. So like if you just want something with some mild comedy, it's a really cool show. So this is their final season. So I've been watching that. I'm just catching up on my series. Watching Abbott Elementary. Too funny.
Love that show.
Love the show. I know they got, speaking of it, I know they got some flack for talking about Sean King in one of their last episodes. But
but you gotta keep it real. People gotta keep it real about Sean King, man. A lot of people don't like Buddy, so.
All right, well, I like him, so whatever. But ultimately, Abbott Elementary is hilarious. And I hope they're up for Emmys again. Because the show is just, it's just one of those shows. So yeah. I just been catching up on series, honestly, in my spare time.
Okay.
How about you?
All American Homecoming.
I can't find it. I can't watch it.
It's on.
I tried to watch it.
It's on the CW.
Oh, I don't have cable.
It's CW's regular TV.
I don't have TV. Like I only have apps.
CW is so download the CW. It's an analog channel. How you watch Abbott Elementary?
I don't have. I watch it on is it Hulu? I watch it on my.
Oh, that's right. Because they show the episodes the next day. Okay.
Yeah, so I only have apps. I don't watch that, so that's why I have to wait till it comes to Netflix.
Watching that and finishing up the final season of Atlanta, which has been really good. Sad to see that show go.
Been kind of awkward.
Well, it's the last season, so I would expect it. But they said it was gonna be awkward. They said it was gonna be filled with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. I'm just kind of vibing out and listening to that new Jeezy album, Snowfall. Which
how do you like it? I'm a Jeezy fan.
Jeezy came back strong.
Did he? Oh, I need to listen to that. I haven't listened to a Jeezy album in a long time. Well, he hasn't really put so much out. But
last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me Residue. I leave blowing these beats. Got diarrhea flow. Man, I shit on niggas. Never mind.
All right. Feeling good, feeling
got
great.
Some super friends in the Legion to Doom. They be blowing purple shit, keep them high like the moon. Yeah.
Clearly, he's on GZ. He's definitely listening to GZ.
Listen. I was in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta in them streets during the Usher, Jeezy, T.I. trap years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I was in Atlanta during the T.I. first album, Jeezy. That's when I started to get on the Southern music, and that changed my life. Especially Tip first album. Anyway, we hope you have enjoyed this show. Back at you again next week with another great show of Culture Gumbo. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. And any other topics you feel like we want to talk about, we are always open to your feedback as well. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Also check us out on Instagram, The Culture Gumbo Pod. we out here, man. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get what you need. You know what I'm saying? What you need. Well, I'm bugging. I'm on something different. Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a great week. Please make sure you get out and vote early.
Yes, vote. Your next few years depend on it, for real. Or your kids' few years depend on it. So until next time.